Here's the truth that most people don't know. The designer is talking to you all the time, constantly, every day. You just haven't always known how to listen. We have an inbuilt GPS system that is constantly guiding us towards our highest joy, towards the fullest expression of our soul plan. We just haven't known how to listen to it. The first thing to understand about the designer's language is that it's quiet. The designer does not shout. It does not push, it does not demand, it does not arrive as a dramatic, unmistakable, booming voice that says, "Do this now." It speaks in a much more subtle register, and because it's subtle, it's easy to miss, especially in a third-dimensional world which is loud, urgent, and full of competing noise and constant distraction. Most people are listening for a megaphone. The designer is speaking through a whisper. Once you know that, you stop missing it. The designer communicates through several channels. You probably recognize most of them. You just may not have known that they were your GPS system at work. I've created a short quiz to see how connected you are with your designer's communication channels. And after you've done the work, you can redo the assessment and see whether you are tuning in to more of the designer's channels. So that's something to look forward to. The first channel in which the designer communicates is intuition. That quiet inner knowing that arrives before logic catches up. I just had a hunch, I just had a feeling. The sense to go here or do that, or yes or no, that has nothing provable behind it. Intuition is your inspired next step. It is the GPS system giving you your next turn, not the whole map, just the next turn, before your mind has time to dissect it and make it right or wrong. Then there's synchronicity, that meaningful coincidence. The right person showing up at the right time, the book that falls off the shelf, the song on the radio that answers the question you are asking yourself, the friend who just calls when you needed them. Synchronicity is the GPS confirming you're on track, or sometimes redirecting you gently by putting the right thing in front of you. Bashar says that following your highest excitement is the organizing principle of synchronicity. Then we have body knowing. That felt sense of yes or no in the body, the expansion in the chest, the lightness, the joy when you imagine one option, or the contraction in the gut when you consider another. The body is one of the designer's most reliable signal channels because the body cannot lie. It registers alignment before the mind catches up. Inspired thought is the idea that arrives from nowhere. It's light, it's simple, almost obvious. Not urgent, not pressured, just there, like it was waiting for you to notice it. Inspired thought feels different from regular thought. There's a vibrancy to it, a quiet certainty. That is the designer dropping the next move into your awareness. Again, it's the next turn, the next step, not the whole map. Then we have the pull of curiosity, what Bashar calls following your highest excitement. The quiet tug towards something for no logical reason, the interest you can't quite explain, the path that intrigues you even though it doesn't fit the plan. Curiosity is the designer's way of saying this way, even if it doesn't make sense. Following your highest excitement does not mean being in a state of ecstasy all the time. It just means looking at what the options are for you and seeing which one has the most energy, has the most vibrancy, is the most exciting. Then we have emotion as feedback. And this one is a big one. We're going to spend most of the rest of this lesson here because once you understand it, your relationship with your emotions changes for the rest of your life. Most of us were taught that emotions are random, or that there are problems to manage, or that some emotions are good and other emotions are bad, and the bad ones need to be eliminated. None of that is accurate. Your emotions are feedback. They are your inner GPS telling you in real time whether what you're currently thinking is in alignment with your designer or not. When you feel good, that good feeling is not reward for doing something right. It's confirmation. It's your designer saying, yes, this way of seeing things is aligned with who you truly are. Keep going. When you feel bad, that bad feeling is also not a punishment. It's information. It's your designer saying, the way you're currently seeing this is not how I see it. There is a wider truth available here. Recalibrate. It's like the GPS system telling you to make a U-turn or that it's recalibrating. Abraham Hicks puts it perfectly. Your emotions tell you whether you're in agreement or disagreement with your inner being. When you're in agreement, you feel good. When you're in disagreement, you feel bad. It's really that simple. Notice what this does. It takes emotion out of the category of problem to manage and puts it into the category of information to receive. Your emotions stop being something happening to you and they become something happening for you. Every feeling is the GPS speaking to you. Every emotion is a turn signal or a recalibration alert. Now let's get practical. If the GPS is always there, why does it sometimes feel like there is no signal or the signal is faint? Because you need to plug it in. And plugging it in is not just a one-time thing, it's a daily thing. Think of it like Wi-Fi. The network is always available, but your device has to connect and stay connected for the signal to come through clearly. If you walk too far from the router, the signal weakens. If you let the connection lapse, you have to reconnect. Plugging into the designer works the same way. The designer is always available, but your daily attention, your daily quietness, your daily willingness to listen, that is what keeps the connection strong. And the higher your vibration, the clearer the signal. When you're anxious, rushing, gripped by fear, buried in noise or distraction, the signal still exists, but it's harder to hear. When you're calm, appreciative, present in your body, the signal lands easily and clearly. So the question becomes, how do we plug in daily in a way that is sustainable and simple? That is where I have created the Feel Good process for you. The Feel Good process is your daily morning and evening practice for keeping your GPS plugged in and switched on. It's simple. It does not require hours. It does not require perfect stillness. It can be done in 5 to 10 minutes, but it changes the entire arc of your day. GOOD is an acronym and it stands for gratitude, observation, open to receive, and decide. And then, woven through the day, you have the feel. Feel good as the directive, taking action from a higher vibrational state, following your highest excitement. Let me walk you through each step. G for gratitude. The day begins and ends with appreciation. In the evening, before you sleep, take a moment to give thanks for what supported you during the day. Acknowledge what flowed. Even on hard days, there's something. Thank you for my bed. Thank you for my pillow. Thank you for the meal I ate. Thank you for the breath in my body. Expressing appreciation and gratitude in the evening is really important. It sets the tone for your sleep and it sets the tone for how you're going to wake up. Now, in the morning, before you do anything else, as you open your eyes, as you realize you're awake, give thanks for the day ahead. Thank you for this day. Thank you for me new in this day. Thank you for what's about to unfold. This is not a positivity exercise. It's a frequency exercise. Gratitude is the fastest way to raise your vibration into the range of where the designer signal becomes clear. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that the spoken word of thanks is the most powerful decree you can make. It's a statement of trust. The first O, observe. Now bring your attention to your body. Notice sensations. Notice the state of your nervous system. Are you tight somewhere? Is something humming? Is there an emotion present? A heaviness, a buzz, a tenderness? The instruction is simple. Notice without trying to fix. This is the player from Module 3 applied to the body. You're not here to override what you find. You're not here to suppress it or judge it. You are here to allow it to be present. You can use these phrases. I give myself permission to feel, or it is safe to feel, and then allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling. This step matters because the designer's signal is felt in the body. If your body is full of unacknowledged tension and unwitnessed feeling, the signal gets drowned out by static. By simply observing, you let some of that static settle. You make room for the signal to come through. The second O is for open. And now you're going to open yourself to receive. In the evening, you open to rest and guidance. You allow your sleep to be a space where deeper integration can happen because the designer continues to work while the avatar rests. So at night, before you go to sleep, after you've done your gratitude, after you've observed your body and calmed your nervous system, you're going to open yourself to rest and guidance. This is done by intention. So for example, I say, I'm going to fall into a deep restorative sleep. And as I sleep, I'm going to release all resistance. My body is going to relax, and every cell of my body is going to have access to divine intelligence. In the morning, you're going to open yourself to receive insight and support. You let the designer know you're available to be guided, surprised, redirected. You drop the grip of, I have to figure this out alone. The opening posture is not a technique, it's a willingness. It's saying internally, I'm open to receive what I need today, in whatever form it arrives. Energy always follows intention, so you can just say out loud or to yourself, I open myself to receive guidance and support. I open myself to receive love, joy, happiness, health, well-being, whatever it is you're wanting to bring into your life. Then D, decide. Now is when you choose. Now is when you activate the player. So in the evening, you're going to decide the quality of your sleep, and you're going to decide how you want to wake up. So I will say, I'm going to fall into a deep restorative sleep. And while I sleep, my body is going to relax. And every cell of my body is going to have access to divine intelligence. And when I wake, I'm going to be energized, revitalized, happier, healthier, stronger, more vibrant. Let whatever comes to you come. Just proclaim it. Then in the morning, you're going to decide the quality of your day. Decide how you want to show up, how you want your day to unfold. This is identity work in the smallest, most accessible daily form. You're not necessarily deciding what will happen. You're deciding who you will be in what happens. You can spend time deliberately in your fifth dimensional reality at the top of that summit, tuning in to the highest, most expanded version of you, the one who is already aligned. Neville Goddard called this living in the end. You're not waiting for the day to be good before you become the version of you who has a good day. You're becoming that person first. So what you can do is before your day starts, think about your day ahead. Abraham calls this pre-paving. For example, if you have any meetings, think about how you want the meeting to play out, how you want to show up in that meeting. See yourself communicating confidently. See people reacting positively to you. You can also spend time in your fifth dimensional reality, tuning into the version of you who is at the top of the summit, who is already aligned. Spend some time feeling what it feels like to be in that aligned state and deciding how you want to be that aspect today, how you want to access part of your fifth dimensional reality today. So for example, you can decide that today I'm going to be energized. Today I'm going to be confident. Today I'm going to be present. Today I'm going to be light. That is the good part of your evening and your morning. Now let's turn to the feel, because that's the through line of the day. Good anchors the morning and the evening. Feel anchors the middle. Throughout the day, your job is simple. Feel good, because feeling good is how you stay in range of your designer's signal. Feeling good is the proof that your GPS is on and you're tuned in and you're listening and you're on the right track. So take actions that raise your vibration. Move your body, sing, dance, laugh, do something creative. Spend time outdoors, meditate, call a friend who makes you laugh, listen to music that moves you, and most important of all, follow your highest excitement. This is Bashar's central teaching. Whatever in this moment has the highest charge of excitement, curiosity, or yes, follow that. Take the smallest possible step towards it. Don't wait for the big inspired action. Take that one small step that is right in front of you, and then take the next, and then the next. Bashar says, follow your highest excitement until you can follow it no further. Following your highest excitement is how you stay aligned in real time. It's the GPS at work. It's the designer guiding the avatar through the player's willingness to listen. I want to address something honestly, because this teaching is often misunderstood. Feel good does not mean force yourself to feel good when you don't. It does not mean spiritual bypassing. It does not mean pasting positivity over real pain. When you feel bad, the first move is the Module 3 move. Validate the avatar. Notice, allow, let the emotion be present and let it move. Don't skip the step. The feel-good process works with that, not against it. The G is gratitude, not denial. There's always something to be grateful for. The O is observe, including observing what is hard, what is difficult, what is not ideal. The O is open, including being open to what wants to surface. And the D is decide. But you decide from honesty, not suppression. Remember the navigation system. It's always reaching for the next highest step. Once the avatar has been heard, the lift becomes available. You reach the next slightly better thought, slightly better feeling. You can follow the smallest excitement that is true for you in this moment, even if it's going to make a cup of tea. Whatever that is, the GPS does not require you to be in a high state already. It requires you to be willing to listen and take the next small step, the next small turn. I want to give you one more thing before we close this lesson, because this is the part that takes the pressure off the entire practice. Every GPS expects recalculation, recalibration. If you've ever used a navigation app while you're driving, you know exactly what this means. You miss a turn, you take the wrong exit, you decide to stop somewhere unplanned. The GPS doesn't get angry. It doesn't shame you. It doesn't shut down. It just quietly says recalculating, and then it gives you the next best turn from where you are now. The GPS works exactly the same way. You will miss turns. You will take the wrong exits. You will lose signal, sometimes for hours, for days, maybe even weeks, sometimes even years. You will get caught up in noise, in fear, in old patterns, in the gravity of the third dimensional world. And sometimes the connection will feel faint. That is not failure. That is being human. The GPS is designed for it. The moment you notice you're off course, recalibration has already begun. You don't have to find your way back to the original path. The designer doesn't even need to use the original path anymore. There are thousands of routes, and there is always a new one available from exactly where you are right now. U-turns are allowed, rerouting is allowed, pulling over and stopping for a while is allowed. None of it disqualifies you. None of it means you failed. It just means you're traveling. It just means you're on a journey. The designer always finds the way back to your highest path from where you are. You don't need to be perfectly aligned. You only need to be willing to listen again.